everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Therapist Podcast. We have a guest today that's already been a guest twice. That's how much I like her and having her as a guest because she brings so much amazing information. Her name's Nicole McCance. You guys have probably heard of her. Nicole, I'm so excited to have you back again to talk about this really cool idea, solo to seven figures. Before we do that, let's check in because it's been a little bit since we've caught up and that sort of thing. Have you traveled anywhere exciting, done anything fun that we could tell the traveling therapist about?
Yes. And this is the seven-figure life, because I built and sold my practice, which we'll talk about. We were in Europe. I actually did my second cruise. I'm not really a cruise person. I don't know about you, but my kids love it. We did Greece, Turkey, and Italy. I think it was our kids' third time in Italy. But it's so nice with kids because you go to bed and then you wake up in a different country. There's no packing, there's no stress, there's no flights. So that's like my favorite part. Yeah.
That's so cool. What kind of cruise was it? Because, I love those like Viking cruises. I don't know. I did one of those one time. It was like luxury. It was amazing, like a river cruise. So it's just, what kind of cruise did you do? Just
Yeah,
curious.
so we did Royal Caribbean's amazing for kids because they love the water slides. And I would say it's definitely luxury. Like the food is, I'm a foodie, so I like some good food and good wine, and they had both.
Oh, I love that. What a cool trip. Yeah. I used to like cruises a lot. And then I took one for 14 days and I got this. This is for all the traveling therapists listening. I got this something called mal-disembarkment syndrome, which is just so crazy. It's like essentially like my vestibular system got de-equalized or something. So for like 4 months, I felt like I was walking sideways. It was like
you had
vertigo.
seasickness that didn't go away.
Yeah.
That's so scary. I was
I
worried
know.
about that. I bought all the things. I had these things behind my ears. I think they worked. I felt great. I was scared to take them off.
Yeah, so that's my cruise story. I used to cruise all the time with my mom because, she's older and that sort of thing. But anyway, that's beside the point. Let's talk about the seven-figure lifestyle because, I think every clinician really aspires to that. It's like either how am I going to do it like in my private practice, my rates or that sort of thing, or scale to a group practice, which is what you teach, and then scaling it to a seven-figure practice. Can we talk about that?
That'd be amazing. So I'll quickly introduce myself just in case I'm new to some people. I was a therapist just like you. I did EMDR in couples for 15 years and I loved it. I was so clear that I was put on this earth to do this work and help people. But what happened is I just became really burnt out. I had a good life. We lived close to the water. I'm in Toronto. I'm a business coach that works with Americans too, but I live in Toronto. The amount that I had to work, to be honest, I can say this now as a retired psychologist, was almost unethical. Like my work ethic is a lot, but the amount it was not great. And there was just one day that I said, what if I could what if I could actually make money and not have to sit in front of someone? And then I became pregnant with twins in 2016. And that was really the catalyst that I was like, okay, I just want to be home, and I need money to afford these two babies, two cribs, two high chairs, two bed, all the things. So in 2018, I started hiring and grew quite rapidly, 55 therapists in just 3 years. And we hit multiple seven figures in 2. But what I want to talk to you today about is my 5-step scaling method, because what led to freedom was not only that I hired, but that it was systemized and could run without me. Because if you hire without systemizing first, you will become a CQA. You're not a CEO. You're a chief question answerer. That's not freedom. And we've all known the person who's like running the front desk because everything's chaos and a mess. So I'd love to chat with people. And also, what happens when you create a revenue generating machine that runs itself, it's only a matter of time before someone wants to buy it. And that's when a psychiatrist said, I would love to take care of your people. And I said no, but then I was like, wait, I became a full-time business coach teaching people how to do it.
Yeah, that's the coolest part, though. You sold it but took the model, and now you give it to other clinicians to be able to do this too.
Because nobody was talking about it. I'm like, wait, okay, I'm retired now. Why don't I just teach this?
Exactly. So let's talk about like the chief question answerer. What does that person look like? Because I'm sure somebody's listening and they're like, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
So what are they doing versus what you teach? Let's maybe
this is
talk
the
about that person.
Yeah, who hasn't taken it out of their head and put it into a Google Doc yet, a manual. And the thing is, we take things for granted where we're like, well, they're going to know that their notes are due 24 hours after a session, or they're going to know you shouldn't
Mhm.
email clients the private information, these little things. You want to write it. And I give, if we ever work together, I just give them all, like I give them my SOPs, but you literally want to write step by step how you are in your solo practice. And aren't we lucky with AI? Because now you just chat with your bot and then they'll just take it out of your
Write
head
it
for
for
you.
you. Totally. It's like, "This is what
Amazing.
I did today. Can you, like, turn this into an SOP and give it to my people?"
Yeah, and I think we don't do it, 1, because 'cause we're busy, and 2, because it's boring. That's the other thing. And then the other piece is it feels easy to hire. I hear all the time, "Nicole, I made a bunch of mistakes. Now I'm working with you, but I just thought it's a post on Indeed. Like, how hard is it to hire?" Well, it is hard to find the good people, and you need a system to find the good people as well.
Yes, okay, and I think we even did an episode on that one time because it was so important. Even for me in my life, it's like, I've hired so many people that just turned out badly, and then you're stuck with them, they know everything, and then it's like, I don't know, it's just like this, like, spiral of, like, inefficiency, that kinda thing.
I actually give like a 6-step hiring model. I say there's like 6 steps, 6 big hurdles to get to your hell yeah. You want this person at the end of the 6 steps to be like, oh my gosh, this is like a spectacular person. I hope that they pick me.
So is that step 1 in your 5-step scaling model is the hiring, or is
No,
there
that's
even a
all.
step
So
before
it's
that?
called the McCance method because I have all the methods. So that's a totally different.
Oh, totally different method,
Yeah.
okay. So let's talk about the 5-step scaling method because literally, I mean, even on Instagram, right, this is what you see all the time. Any post that talks about, like, scaling to 7 figures is, like, gold, right? So let's talk about what's your method to help people scale to 7 figures?
Okay. Step 1, systemize. Get it out of your head, put it in a Google Doc, talk to your bot all day. And the thing is, people don't have time. I would talk on the way home. I love the verbal feature where you're just chatting away. Okay, can you add this? Remind me of that. Write this down and then cut and paste it into a doc. Then, number 2, this is where you do build your dream team. I believe, though, your first hire should be a mini me. It should be you cloned. Here's what I mean, because people are like, okay, but what does that mean? That they're a match in energy. You and I are high energy, personality, demographic. People want to see people. If you want to offload your clients, I learned the hard way. I'll tell you about that in a sec. If you're in your 20s, they're looking for somebody who looks like you in their 20s. So similar in energy, personality, demographic, and obviously modality, right? They're going to do what you do or you're going to train them.
Yes. And to be clear, I mean, we're talking about there's assistance, but then there's also hiring the clinicians to
This is
take
going to be
your
your
wait list
therapist.
over.
Yeah.
Yes, to take
Yeah.
over your wait list, essentially. If they're waiting for you, they want somebody just like you to be able to, like, see.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if you want freedom and you want to see a little bit less clients, you need a version of yourself because if you want to move some of maybe even I wanted to move some of my own clients over eventually, right? Because I was like, I want to slow down, I'm going to move them over. But I think I told you this. So when I was 27, you're going to love this story because you're like the freedom queen that they're going to call you.
Yeah.
I was 27, I fell in love, I got engaged, and I moved to Russia, Moscow. I had a busy solo practice and I was like, do I close my practice and follow my heart? And I was like, yes, I did. So here's the problem. I moved my whole caseload. I'm talking like 30 to 40 people to a not mini me. Okay.
Oh, no.
I go to Russia. It does not work out. I fall out of love. I come back 6 months later.
Oh,
Not
gosh.
one person had stayed with her. Not one.
Oh
Here's
my
Here's the
gosh.
thing,
Mm.
demographic. I was 27, she was in her 50s. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm a big personality. She was more not direct and more calm personality and slow. So I think when they showed up to the session, they were like, what
Who
is
is this?
happening? Who is this? So I learned the hard way that you really need to find a mini me for high
Yeah.
retention.
It's almost like you had to go through all that to figure this out so you could perfect your method.
It's right? It's not beautiful about life. You don't understand it in the moment. So
Yeah, yeah.
step number 3, if you
Okay.
want, "Hey, so you've hired. Okay, great, but the biggest fear I hear, Kim, is what if I don't keep them busy? Now I'm like, this person's relying on me." And the second fear is what if they leave, but that's the big one. So step 3 is attract clients with digital marketing. I'm like you, I love things that work while I sleep because there's that freedom piece again. So, in the first place, before you turn on your digital marketing, whether it's the SEO or the Google Ads, is actually your website, making sure your website converts. There's so many therapists out there with a bad website. It's kind of like having a bad haircut. You don't really know you have one until later and you look back and you're like,
It's like,
wow,
oh my gosh,
it's
that's
permed mullet.
embarrassing.
I had a permed mullet when I was like 14. I will show you pictures. You should put it in the
What
show
to
notes.
see.
Yeah. And then the question becomes like, what is a good website? So I'll just give 2 tips because I know this is a lot. But number 1, remove the sad faces. I don't know about you, but I
Yes.
had stressed faces. I thought that was empathy because we have therapist brains. So I thought when they go to my website, they're going to see an anxious person and they're going to say, that's my life. Well, I met with a digital marketer and she said, what are you doing? And I told her, and she said, here's the thing, Nicole. Marketing is aspirational. That's why you see the sandals commercials. They're beautiful walking down this beach where no one is. Sell them where they want to be. The picture of mom and dad with their baby, if you do couples or families, laughing and looking at each other's eyes. So remove the sad photos. And here's the other big one. Faces are 30 to 50% more clickable. So if you have a picture of a beach, that is not as good as a picture of a couple or a happy person. Rocks, beaches, especially empty couches, we need to remove them and replace them with where people want to be, which is happy, laughing, reading a book, sipping tea.
Oh my gosh. I can think of my first website, and I definitely had the stacked rocks.
Yes. And people watching do too. The thing is, it is calming. Like, I love a good beach photo, but it's just, we don't want people to be calm on our website. We want them to take action. And taking action means clicking and being like, ooh, let me find out more. Can we talk about empty couches? Did you have
Yes,
any empty
please.
couches?
I'm sure I did at some point. I really do believe that I did at some point. I've had many iterations.
We're like, every industry has different culture, and like we love our empty couches. It kind of looks like we sell couches. Like if you just looked at the website, right? So I had an empty couch and it got worse. I also had an empty waiting room. And she said to me, it looks like nobody comes here. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the subconscious messaging. But of course, I explained we do this because we can't take actual pictures. So this is our thing, that we do. So immediately I removed empty couches and replaced them with aspirational happy faces.
So smart. Oh my God, such a good tip. So easy. Yeah.
So easy. So I hope people are like jotting notes. So that's step 3. Don't turn on your marketing engine until your website converts and start there. Now, step 4 is convert clients because the clients are coming, Nicole, but now what? Like, how do I book them? You want to convert them with consult calls. Please offer a free consult call. And I actually believe having like an online booking button where they can click, book themselves a free consult call with you or with your therapist. They need to sample. We're selling trust, right? So they want to talk to you. And I actually think it should be 20 minutes and not 15.
Okay. I was going to ask you. Yeah, because I hear different numbers for that. So you think 20.
We test. So I'm all about testing. When I say something, it's typically data driven. So we tested 15. Our conversion rate was okay. So you want a conversion rate around 70 to 80%. Then we tested 30 because I was like, oh, give it all to them. Like, just come from a place of abundance. Guess what? It was still bad conversion. Why? They felt great. 30 minutes. It was like almost
that's all I
therapy.
needed.
Exactly. So the sweet spot tends to be 20, and here's why. You need the first 15 to gather data, build trust, rapport. But you need the last 5 to do 3 things. 1, book 4 sessions. You need time. And I don't think you want to book 1 session, book 4. That's on the order of the treatment plan, right? And go over the cancellation policy. That takes a minute. And take their credit card. I teach private pay. I also work with a lot of in-network people, but I was all private pay. And that takes a good 5 minutes. What happens? 15 minutes is not enough. And then you're fumbling and rushing. And then guess what they say? Because they have no more time. And they're like, you know what? I'll just book. I'll
call you back.
You lose them. Yeah.
Do it right then. That's like a closer tip. It's like how do we close this
100%.
deal
It's like
right now?
sales training that I do.
Yeah, I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Such good tips. Okay. So we got the consult call, and then that's the fourth step, right?
You got it. And then the last step, now, oh my gosh, Nicole, the clients are converting. This is working. This is amazing. I'm helping all these people. But guess what? I'm not the one doing the therapy. I'm like working less. My therapists are seeing the people. But the last and most important tip stage that people miss, guess what it is?
What?
Pop
Tell
quiz.
me. I don't know. What is it?
Retention. Retention.
Retention.
We're,
Okay, yes.
it's so funny. And I'm like this too. I have so many people on my Instagram. So I'm always chatting and they're like, more clients, more clients. But they're not paying attention to the clients that they have and they're losing them in the back because they're not looking back. And the truth is, if you have good retention, then you don't have to focus on marketing as much, right? Like really focus on, of course, the marketing, but if they're always falling out the back, then you're constantly exhausted trying to like feed the marketing machine. So retain clients with follow-ups is the last step of the 5-step scaling method. Here's what I mean. Are you following up when they no-show? And what I mean is you get your admin. I teach people how to find an admin to call. Some people no-show or cancel and they actually want to reschedule, but then 3 weeks goes by. So are you on that immediately? There's 3 follow-ups. 1, no-shows and cancels. 2, are you following up if they don't book off the consult? They wanted to check their insurance. Life got busy. Did you follow up? Lastly, what about the people who ghosted you? Everything was great. They took that vacation. You never saw them again. And then you get busy. There's research that shows you can get a 20% revenue bump just by following up. And it's so simple. And especially if you have an admin, you're not the one doing it. You're traveling, you're hitting the cruises, all those things.
Yes. How do you keep track of it if they're coming? Because I mean, I'm thinking back to my days when I saw a lot of clients, right? Like even in the back of my mind, I mean, I guess it's having an admin because I was trying to do it all on my own back then.
Yes. So I am, as you know, I have a 6-month business coaching program. So I'm the tracking queen. You're the traveling queen. I'm the tracking queen. What you do is your admin every single day, because I had 55 therapists, so that was a lot. But so she would go in and write down all the no-shows in a tracking sheet. So there's tracking. But even better, I had my therapist, if a consult call didn't book, they would write it down and they would see other therapists. It was motivating. If they're like, oh, why are none of my people booking? They would put names. They would put like client ID from the practice management software, EHR. So the therapist is putting a note in a tracking sheet and the admin does the rest.
Amazing. Oh, that's so smart because then you're like really seeing statistics, even as like leadership. You can go back and say, like, why isn't this clinician's consults
Oh my
actually
gosh.
converting? Like, how could I help?
You got it. Like,
Yes.
then you know who your superstars are, who needs more training. If they're asking for a raise, you're double checking this sheet to check on their KPIs.
Yes. Okay. So 20% bump in revenue just by following up in those 3 places.
Just by following, it's free.
Amazing.
I
Yeah, that's
know.
so smart. When you're following up, is it a phone call? Is it an email? Like, is there a
We
proven
do both.
strategy? You do both. That's so
So
smart.
it's interesting because I think that less people are picking up their phone. Like
Yeah.
I get spam calls all the time.
Oh my gosh, I
Thank
never
God
answer my
half the
phone.
time my phone just like says, don't even bother kind of thing. So we used to do like phone first and then email, but I would try both. I'm almost thinking email first now. I think you'll get people faster than phone. If you text, we never texted clients, but some do, of course, private HIPAA compliantly. So you could also, I find a text people are faster at because they're like the dopamine hit we're used to, like when we're likely to respond. Yeah.
That's smart. So you collect their phone numbers and we'll do the SMS texting and all of that.
Yeah. So, and this is a
Smart.
client, right? So everything
Yeah.
would be in the EHR. So you would just reach
Oh,
out.
perfect.
Yes.
That's so smart. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what great strategies. Yes.
Yes, I know. It is a lot and it works and it will lead to freedom.
Yeah, and that 7-figure mark you wanna get to. I mean, keeping the clients in the loop alone is gonna give you that bump, I think. That's amazing.
The biggest thing is you can't do it alone. So we both touched on admin. And I think a lot of people don't hire an admin because they think, oh gosh, I don't know if I have money for cash flow to hire someone part-time. But I started with 5 hours a week, just 5 hours a week. Like there's some psychology students that are so bright, like we were back in the day that want to be us. and they will work for you. And they can be a W-2 employee, but they don't have to be part-time.
Oh, that's genius. Yes. So in the admin, are you looking for a mini me too, or somebody that's like the opposite, like me? I'm not organized at all. Am I looking for an organized person, or what am I looking for in the admin?
So the 6-step hiring model, maybe I'll come back for that. It's more for my members. I don't share it too much because I want to like save some stuff for my members. But the very first or the second step is a personality test. So we ran it. We have American HR person in the program, an expert. So I wanted to make sure this is like not discriminatory. You can use a personality test. You have to make sure it's role specific and that you don't discriminate, of course. But we give them the big 5. It spells ocean. It measures like openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. But you want to make sure they're very high in conscientiousness. That's their job, to dot the I's, cross the T's, right? And funny enough, I want them a little bit neurotic. And just hear me out. I want them about a range of about 30 score in neuroticism. I found the best admin were slightly anxious and very detailed. They were anxious enough to double check twice that the door was locked at the end of the night. Because guess what? I had a non-conscientious person. We had $100,000 of neurofeedback equipment. They did not lock the door. Thank God in Toronto, it was fine. No one stole it that day. Every other day we locked it. But so the anxious personality, I want to hire them. They're triple checking the email before they send it. Yeah.
I like that. The other thing, because I went through this with trying to hire my own people, is somebody that maybe isn't like, what's the scale where they're really entrepreneurial? I can't think of the name of it.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I also suggest that is step number 5 of the
Okay.
Is the Colby.
Oh, yeah, the Colby.
Yes.
That's what it was.
You want to
Yes.
rule out if they're entrepreneurial. So you want them low in what's called quick start.
Yes.
I found a measure to find the entrepreneurial because it's hard. Like, how do you know? And we don't want those people.
Yeah.
We don't want the mini-me's in that way, right?
Exactly. Yeah, my
Mhm.
VA like has no desire to like go out on her own, start anything. She's like super happy just helping me. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
exactly who I need.
Exactly.
She's been amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
She's high in conscientiousness, obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. Totally. She's amazing. Such great tips. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So tell us about your free webinar that you have, that you
Yes.
offer.
So first, I have a podcast. If people love listening to podcasts, I have one, The Business Savvy Therapist is what it's called. And I have a webinar that I do every single week. It is absolutely free, and it's how to build a 7-figure group practice, where I go over the nitty gritty of all the 5 steps, and you can just show up and like actually hang out with me and ask me questions.
Oh, that's amazing. Yes. And then tell us about your program.
So I have a 6-month business coaching program. We have 85-star Google reviews. I'm so proud. 80.
That's
I know.
amazing.
I only work with therapists, and I only work with those in North America, only Canada, only America. And we have lawyers in the program, HR experts, digital marketing, who else? Accountants and stuff. We have Julie Harris. I don't know if you know her. She's one of our experts that you have access to. Because the thing is, for me, I kept losing momentum because I would have a question. I wouldn't even know sometimes even what to ask, or like I didn't have access to the right person. And of course, I hang out with them every week and coach them.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That's great. So you're staying personal. You're keeping yourself in there, not just hiring coaches that are going to do it for you. Yeah. I love
You
that.
got it. Mhm.
Amazing. So where do people find you? We'll, of course, put it in the show notes too, but where would people find you?
Yes, the best place is the podcast. There's 70,000 of us over on Instagram as well if you want to come join our community.
Nice.
Nicole McCance method. Yeah.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for taking the time today. It's so nice to see you
I just
again.
love being with you. You have the
You
best
too.
energy.
Thank
Thanks for
you
having
so much.